going on, everybody? Welcome back. Let me end this video over on YouTube. There we go. We're live everywhere. We're live and we love it. Who do we got here this morning? I hope everybody had a nice weekend. Hope we had a nice weekend. I see we got Matic Autos in the chat. We've got the common man letting us know it's Mavs assistant God, Sham God, and Pell's rookie Jordan Hawkins' birthday. Happy birthday to them both. Happy birthday to them both. Yotza in the chat. Love to see it. Yeah, hope everybody had a nice weekend. We finally get some good weather here in the Northeast. With beautiful, beautiful little weekend for us. And we got a lot of basketball to get into and a lot of fun stuff. And I'm not sure how many people stayed up late. I'll be honest. I fell asleep. I fell asleep halfway through the third quarter. And I was confident that even though in that moment that it was a close game between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Phoenix Suns, that the Phoenix Suns had no shot in hell. And I got up early this morning. I caught up on all of the action, and it was great. It was great, man. Ant-Man is the best. So we'll talk about all the basketball that we've got that's happened over the weekend, and then we'll dive into what we got going on for the rest of the week today too. So all right, so I've seen it's Happy National Shrimp Scampi Day. That's good from Snoopaloop. If you're watching over on YouTube, do me a favor. If you're over on YouTube, I see Pascal's over there. We the people. I'm going to drop a link in the chat. Come on over to playback, please. Come on over to playback. That way I can see all of your chats. And we're going to share screen. We're going to share some clips and all that stuff too. Just real quick, this is what we have going on today. We'll have some playback later tonight because we've got the Celtics and Heat are the only teams to be stuck at 3 games. They haven't played game 4 yet. Everybody else is like getting ready for their game 5. So game 4 tonight of Celtics Heat, I'm sure we'll be streaming that. We'll have the NBA bit Monday through Friday. I literally don't know when lock is for So Rare. So whenever it's time to do a live before lock, we'll do a live before lock. So get excited for that. And yeah, we'll have 89 Cavs will be back this week. We got a lot of fun stuff. We're also only a handful of days away from our live show. So if you're in the New York area, 89 Cavs are going to be coming at you live Saturday, May 11th. So get excited for that. But let's get into it. And God, Anthony Edwards is good, man. Dropped 40 points, just absolutely takes over. And the energy is just like, it's palpable. It gets me excited. Ant-Man has got me excited. He's so freaking fun. And the Timberwolves just make quick work of the Phoenix Suns. And I want to try my best to focus more on Minnesota right now before we make fun of Phoenix, because Minnesota deserves all the flowers in the world. Where Ant-Man was great, Cat was great, Rudy was great this series, and they did what and I know they ended up being the 3 seed. But to me, that was like a fake 3 seed because, Minnesota, OKC, and Denver all year long were 1A, 1B, and 1C. And when you are one of those teams, you like to see them go into the playoffs and just take care of business. And that's exactly what they did. Like, even though some of these games were like close in score, none of them felt close. Like, at no point did anyone actually watch those games and be like, you know what? I think Phoenix has a shot here. It was just the same thing, the same script every single time. I wanted to what we'll do over here is take a look at some of the clips from that game. We can mainly just the second half. Actually, let's start with the Anthony Edwards interview, because I thought this was great last night on TNT. Ant-Man is just the best here. So we're going to share screen. Again, if you're over on YouTube, you're not going to be able to see this because otherwise we'll get fined by the man. So make sure you're over here on playback so we can hear this. Let me turn my volume up too, just so I can hear it. All right, here we go.
Let's talk to Anthony Edwards. Ant, thank you very much for taking a few minutes in the midst of your post-game celebration. We appreciate you. We certainly got the impression, watching this game, that you knew what was in front of you. Chance to sweep, chance to move on, chance to win a series for the first time in 20 years, and you personally were not going to let that pass. Yeah, no kidding. And you were not going to let the opportunity pass. Tell me about your mentality going in.
I told y'all yesterday, or day before yesterday, whatever the last time we played, that I want to kill everything in front of me. So once I knew we had a chance to sweep them, and, why we want to go back to Minnesota? We know the recipe. They came out and competed. They played hard tonight. It was very tough, but, big shout out to my teammates, man. They came out and competed at a high level throughout the whole 48 minutes, and they trusted me at the end, man. So big shout out to those guys.
And Shaq here, 22 years old.
Real quick, just shout out Anthony Edwards. Immediately, he gives us a fun quote where I still want to kill everybody. Brings it back to a great quote that he had, and then immediately shouts out his teammates. This guy gets it.
Tweak both ankles. You changed shoes. You had 9 points in the first half. What was your thought process going into the second half?
I mean, like Ernie said, I knew what was at stake. I came out like, man, I got 9 points. There's no way we can win this game if I don't get myself going. And I found a way to get myself going and put my team on my back, and we came out with the win.
You guys hear the MVP chant in the background? The Phoenix, they're in Phoenix getting an MVP chant.
Have y'all got any news on your coach, Ant?
No, man, but I'm as soon as I get done with y'all, I'm rushing to go back there to find out, man, because that's the coach of the year, man, and I hate to see him go down like that.
Also, we can stop there. That is crazy. I don't know if you guys saw that. That the coach freaking tore his patellar tendon, they think. Patella like tore it. The coach. Also, Draymond Green with an insane tweet where he's like, "There's only 140 left. You got to stay out there." If there's anyone that's familiar with not finishing a game, it's Draymond Green. What are we talking about? What are we talking about, Draymond? So that sucks for the Wolves. But man, what an impressive performance from Minnesota. I mean, like holding court at home, going 2-0 to start the series when you're the home team. Yeah, sure. And then maybe even if they went back 3-1, that would have made a ton of sense. But for them to go into Phoenix and just kind of step on their throat and basically end this run of Phoenix, because I don't know what Phoenix, like there were so many like hit pieces that came out ready to go. Like, I don't know if you saw any of the Athletic reporting. Sources say Kevin Durant was unhappy with the way he was used offensively. A lot of times he felt like he was relegated to the corner. Listen, Kevin Durant, you're coached by Frank Vogel. And no disrespect to Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel's not Greg Popovich. He's not Eric Spoelstra. He's not Phil Jackson. He's not Red Auerbach. What are you talking about? If you are unhappy with how you're being used offensively, fucking do something different, Kevin. I'm sorry, it's Frank Vogel, man. We've seen how LeBron James has handled Darvin Ham. Right? He said, like, oh, Darvin, great play call. I'm LeBron James. I'm just going to go out there and do something. So if you're telling me that Kevin Durant, as the leader of this team, is unable to just adjust his role offensively, then maybe you shouldn't be getting paid that much money. But what are we talking about? That's such an insane quote to come out. And maybe there's more context that wasn't included in the piece. Maybe there's more will come out. But, like, what are we talking about, Kevin? Also, the Bradley Beal game, like, real quick, let's hit some of the stats from that game. Bradley Beal, in one of like the funniest, I think Bradley Beal and D'Angelo Russell had historic 24-hour windows where, like, after game 3, D'Lo was like, we're going to see a lot more of what we saw in game 3 and game 4. And then D'Lo goes out there, or no, it's 2-3 and was just like historically bad. Bradley Beal was like, I've never been sweeping. I'll be damned if I'm going to get swept now. And it's like, well, welcome to the damned world, Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal was so freaking bad in this game. So Booker and KD both had like big time games. I don't know why my computer's being so slow. Like stat wise, they both had big time games in that one. But they were the only two guys to get into double digit scoring for Phoenix. So ready? KD goes 12 for 17 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3, had 33 points, 9 boards, and 5 dimes. Okay, that's fine. Devin Booker, it took Booker 3.5 full games to like get going. He gets 49 points, 6 dimes, 5 boards, 13 for 21. He went to the free throw line 21 times. So Adam Silver got his refs deep in his bag. Let's make sure Phoenix can try to extend this series. He goes to the line 21 times. Here are the rest of the scores. Royce O'Neal, 6 points. Let's go, Royce. Yusuf Nurkic, the guy that replaced DeAndre Ayton, 9 points, 8 boards, only 5 field goal attempts. There you go. Oh, Bradley Beal. No trade clause, Bradley Beal. He's our savior. 9 points. He had 6 turnovers, as many turnovers as personal fouls. Bradley Beal fouled out of the game in 31 minutes. He was a minus 12. Then you got Josh Okogie, big Okogie minutes off the bench for 14 minutes, 4 points. Eric Gordon played almost 40 minutes in this game. And then how many points did he have? Sixer. That's a sixer. 122, 116. And that is a wrap on the Phoenix Suns. Just to hit some of the stats here. I said Karl-Anthony Towns finally had a big game. He had 28 and 10 in this one. And like I said, 9 points in the first half, 31 in the second half, goes for 40. Mike Conley dropped 10. You got McDaniels with 18. Naz Reid, 6th man of the year, gave him 8 off the bench. Shout out to Nikhil Alexander-Walker, too. Really good performance from Na. Really good stuff from him. And I'm sure you guys have seen the clip too. I mean, Ant throwing it down on Kevin Durant was just like a monster dunk. So let's kind of put a pin in Phoenix here. I don't know what they do. Like I don't know what the move is here. I know Frank Vogel will be the fall guy, which I'm not saying Frank Vogel like coach of the year, best guy of all time. Like I'm not saying that at all. But I mean, if you were telling me like, hey, listen, we got Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. We don't have a point guard. We're gonna have guys named. We're gonna do like mashup names of people, and they're gonna be the rest of your rotation. And then it's like, why is this Frank's fault? I don't know if you can blame Vogel for the fact that Josh Okogie didn't give you 25 a game, right? Maybe like some of these, and I mean, like you can't hold the players accountable, right? Because what are you going to do? Trade Bradley Beal? No, because Bradley Beal has a no trade clause, which again is one of the funniest things in basketball. So you're not going to blame him. And I don't know what moves they make because it's not like all of a sudden they're going to come into cap space. This is their path forward for the next couple of years, finding guys that'll make league minimum that will come in and play. And it's just not going to happen. Like, who's going to be the difference maker, right? And it's only like going down, not downhill from here because I think Booker's on the books until the Booker's on the books. LOL, comedy until 2028, right? So he's still going to be there. Beal will finish out his contract there unless he wants to leave, which I don't think he will. And then Kevin Durant, like that'll be like, what does KD do? And I think him having quotes immediately after, I don't know if that, I don't know. I don't know what the Suns do, but I don't see it getting any better. Like I don't see them. It's not like you like the OKC Thunder, Timberwolves. Both teams are examples of like cores that are just starting to get there. Now Phoenix is like we're on the way down here. We're already on the way down the slope. So I don't know. I mean, that's so much money tied up with no draft picks. I mean, Brooklyn Nets going to be thrilled here with the package they get back for KD. But yeah, Phoenix is down so bad, and again, I don't know what they turn to. And like real quick on KD, right? If we take out the KD Golden State run, right? So you have that 1 year where they like smoke the Spurs. I forget what year it is. It's like, oh, whoa, OKC ahead of schedule. They're into the finals, right? And then the next year or 2 years later against the Warriors where they're up 3-1. And then he's got a rough stretch as Warriors come back from 3-1 and they go on to win the series. And then, he goes to Golden State, a lot of fun. Okay, cool. And he goes to Brooklyn. We see that flame out. Now he's in Phoenix, that flame. Like if you take out that Golden State run, that playoff resume, not as sexy. Not as Stan loves like just a reminder. OKC was favored over LeBron James, Miami. Stan, I love that, Stan. Yeah, good. Yeah, give me the snowflake, Stan. Give me the snowflake, Stan. Also, I see we got some people over on YouTube. Come on over to playback, baby. But yeah, let's Minnesota now, right? So they have plenty of time to rest. I'm sure Minnesota's going to be out there rooting for the Lakers here, just to not necessarily for the Lakers to even beat the Nuggets, but just to extend this series. Because we'll talk about Denver in a second. Maybe we do that now. So Denver and Lakers, right? They played over the weekend. Lakers finally get a W. Congrats. First time in 14,000 years. Lakers get a W over the Denver Nuggets. And it was just kind of like, good win for them, to have some self-respect. I thought for sure that it was over. I thought they were mentally broken the way, like the body language is pretty bad in that squad. But good for them. I imagine this is it for them tonight. They now the altitude, baby, the altitude. However, the one concern I have, Mr. Jamal Murray is like questionable with the little. It looked like he grabbed his calf. I think it's a calf strain, which that could be a little scary. So in that game, Lakers won 119-108. Michael Porter Jr. still gave him 27. Jokic again, 33, 14, and 9. Jamal with 22. Jamal still hasn't had a good shooting game. And then AD had 25 points, 23 boards. Also, I listen, Denver's going to move through. Denver is going to move through. Anthony Davis, though, like is this the best outside of that finals run, the best like stretch of AD's career? I mean, every single night he's been taking it to him. He's going to defend their best guy. And I know Jokic is still getting his stats, but he's going to get his stats against anyone. And AD's still out there, 25 and 23. LeBron gave him 30. They got 21 from D'Lo and Austin Reeves. So I don't know. Does anybody thinking, ooh, we got a sneeze coming and we don't even have a drop? Does anybody think the Lakers are going to go in there and get game 5 tonight, or is this it? Gentleman's sweep. Is that all that's happening here? Also, we get some cold brew this morning. Let's go. Right into the veins, baby. Right into the veins. I think Denver finishes up tonight. I think they do. Only if no Murray. Everybody else saying it's a wrap. It's done. Yeah, I agree with you, Stan. I think if Jamal's down, it could be a little scary because Reggie Jackson, I don't think is going to be available either. So we'll see. But that means, right, so if Denver is able to get it done tonight in advance, That gives us Denver and Minnesota in round 2. And uh Sean in the chat says Denver size doesn't give the Wolves problems like it does other teams. Right. That is one of the few teams. Like, I wonder how they would approach it too. Like, do they put Rudy on Aaron Gordon so that they like, I heard the Bill Simmons podcast talking about it, so they eliminate the dunker spot, or is it Rudy on Jokic? Because Jokic historically has beat up Rudy, but like, what's the answer for Anthony Edwards, so I think it's going to be pretty fun. That'll be a really fun series. And I think if you're OKC, you're like, hell yes, brother, right? Because the Lakers Clippers game is going at least 6 games, right? So they're going to be a little tired. OKC is going to finish it up here. We'll talk about them in a second. And then you can watch Minnesota and Denver beat the hell out of each other while you either get a Kawhi-less Clippers or Luka, who looks a little dinged up for the Mavericks right now too. Veronica in the chat said, is it at the point where you wouldn't want a KD, LeBron, those type of generation players traded to your team? Also Stan with one of the worst takes so far. Clippers over OKC. I don't think so, bro. It depends, Veronica. I don't think it's like you don't want them on your team. I think it depends on like how much you're paying them. Courtside still in the courtside. Come on over to playback. I'm not going to read the chat over here. Come on over. We're still going to upload the shows to YouTube. We're still going to upload them, but we're doing the live stream on playback. No, I don't think so, Veronica. I don't think it's not like, I think if LeBron goes for like, a reasonable contract to a team where you're not trading all of your assets, I think that's fine. I think you would like LeBron. I mean, LeBron's still putting up 30 points a game. He can still take over. I think you don't want LeBron or KD to be the best player on your team anymore. I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can lock them into like 160 million over the next couple of years. No, Veronica, I felt like LeBron is a team virus lately. I don't think so. I mean, like, listen, I know it's fun. I'm not saying this is what you're doing, but I know anytime I put up an Instagram reel or a YouTube short about LeBron, it's like a bat signal of hate goes out and then everybody like swarms in. It's like, oh my God, he's not Jordan. And like, I get it, but like the Lakers went to the Western Conference Finals last year as a play-in team, like I get that. And they have a similar problem that the Phoenix Suns have, where you like look at the guys. Rui Hashimura is not good. Like, I know everybody got excited about it because he had like 2 good playoff games last year. Rui is not a good basketball player. D'Angelo Russell, no one every year they're like, oh well, maybe D'Lo's got a lot of trade value. Nobody trades for him. Nobody wants D'Angelo Russell. So I think like I don't know. I think LeBron is still like a valuable asset. You just can't pay him. If he is your focal point. Same thing with KD. So I don't know. I don't know. Sean, Wolves were able to. Yeah, but what, Sean? I know that was 2 years ago, though, Sean. So all right, yes, I agree. You don't want LeBron because he won't take less money and you won't have enough. Yeah, but I think he might take less money. That's what I think. What's different about the Phoenix situation and the Lakers situation? I feel like LeBron. There's a real shot that LeBron is going to be like, "See ya, we're out, we're out." So we'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see what happens. But anyways, yeah, I think Denver wraps it up tonight. I am concerned about Jamal Murray though. If Jamal Murray's not healthy, because he hasn't been playing great already. I mean, of course he had that insane shot, that insane game winner. Was that to go up 2-0 or 3-0? I can't remember. I think that was 2-0. Yeah. They need him to be healthy. But man, God, that is going to be such a juicy series of Minnesota and Denver. That's going to be pretty fun. Let's see OKC and New Orleans Pelicans. I mean, RIP New Orleans is pretty bad. Now, a hilarious clip from, I'm sure everybody saw it on social media. Shaq, known for finishing, had one of the best dimes of his career where he set up Chuck for that Galveston joke. I don't know if that video is on House of Highlights or if anybody has it and has seen it on Twitter. Let me see if I can find. I don't know if they would put that on House of Highlights. Let me see. Well, I saw. Yeah, you know what? It's got to be there because he apologized to Galveston last night. Let me see if I can find it because it was so freaking funny. Yeah, here we go. I think this is it. Hold on. Let's see. Let me share. This is worth watching together. Okay, this is shout out TNT. Also, before we watch this clip, there has never been a bigger disparity than ESPN studio shows to TNT studio shows. And I'm sorry, Malika Andrews is fine. I like Malika Andrews. The Stephen A. Smith, and I know Stephen A. Smith is good at what he does, but like Stephen A. Smith, Wilbon, Kendrick Perkins, Woj, who has the charisma of a thumb. Like, what are we doing? It's so bad. It's so bad. But let's go over it. Let's watch this. This is fun.
Tequila, we are, 7 minutes away from the tip? Celtics tied up a game apiece with the Miami Heat. We had all those threes. Caleb Martin looking like the Caleb
Come on,
Martin
hurry up.
of the Eastern Conference Finals a year ago with 21 in game. Shaquille O'Neal.
We're not even going to send them to Cancun. We're going to send
Oh, here we go. Sorry.
Disappointing on us. Where they going, Chuck?
Galveston. That dirty ass water. We're not even going to send them to Cancun. We're going to send them to Galveston where that dirty ass water be washed up on the shore. You people think they're in the beach. Y'all located. We y'all gonna send y'all to.
Wait, hold on. The best is that you can hear the crew laughing. That's when you know it's a great bit. When you hear the crew laughing that aren't supposed to be mic'd up.
That dirty ass water be washed up on the shore. You people think they're in the beach. Y'all located. We y'all gonna send y'all to Cancun. Y'all drive y'all quit. Drive your ass down to Galveston. Come on, man.
So they're not taking a little.
Come on, they didn't even try, man. We're not getting them no plane ticket to the beach. We sitting there as to Galveston, Texas, right where that dirty water washed up on the beach. They can't even get in the water. Come on, man.
Oklahoma City, 185 and down 3. It's 3-0. You saw Ali LaForce waiting for it.
Hold on. All right, let's go. Now he apologized yesterday. Where let me see. Here it is.
It is Sunday night at the NBA playoffs, and the action resumes a half hour from now. Welcome to the NBA Tip-Off presented by CarMax from Atlanta's studio.
Let's see. Also, real quick, I see we have 5 visitors in the room right now. If you're a visitor, your first time doing this, join the room. Make sure you join the room so you can get involved in the chat. It makes us look good when we get more people in here. But yeah, let's see Chuck's apology now.
Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley back with you. Kenny the Jet Smith sitting in for Vince Carter, who was here yesterday. Hey, it's good to have you back.
I didn't realize y'all was working yesterday.
Yeah, we were working a long
Don't
time.
act like you wasn't
yesterday.
watching.
Yeah.
I did not watch
I
y'all.
guarantee you did.
You did not.
Gee, I didn't watch
So you didn't see when we were discussing the Oklahoma City New Orleans series, which now stands 3-0, that Chuck did not think that New Orleans deserved to go to Cancun.
I saw that on social media.
You saw that on
I
social.
did not see it
so
on.
where do you think they should go?
Galveston.
Galveston.
You know,
And you're a Houston guy, so you know Galveston.
and I know Galveston, and I'm not gonna. I just know Galveston.
So Kenny,
I'll leave it as that.
and Kenny know when I got traded to Houston, I said, yeah, I'm excited about going to the beach. He's like, you're not going to the beach, you're going to Galveston.
So anyway, so we had some.
It's like where oil rigs come.
Yeah, we had some fun with that, and you know, who latched onto the conversation?
Who was that?
The mayor?
Beyonce's mom.
Beyonce's mom.
Yes. Chuck, we don't play about Galveston, Texas. Our water might not be blue, but it's still the beach, and we love it. Jay sent this to me, and Angie B yesterday. He asked us if we're going to let him talk
Incredible.
about our city like that. All good. We got a great laugh. So you never know. You never know
Jay-Z
who you're going to
watching you.
impact.
Miss Knowles. I don't want that smoke. I don't want the beehive and Jay after Chuck. Miss Knowles, I apologize. I do not want the beehive and Jay after me.
So how do you?
Again, I know we should just be celebrating TNT. It's just so much better than ESPN. Like the ESPN coverage is just like them yelling. It's just them yelling the entire time. But anyways, good stuff. I don't think we have to talk too much about the OKC Pelicans series. That's a wrap. I mean, SGA is awesome. The Pelicans have nothing going right now. Like Brandon Ingram is just like only taking 14 shots a game when they don't have Zion. They need somebody to step up. Like CJ 7 for 22 in that game. No one got to 20 points. Ingram got to 16. Herb 15. Jonas Valanciunas was like they had that one game. I tried to say this after game 1 too. where everyone was like, "Oh, Jonas, baby. Jonas is too big for Chet Holmgren." But it's like, it doesn't matter because OKC's like, "Fine, man, we'll just run around Jonas. We'll just tire him out." And that's exactly what happens. And he's just, he's not, he can't hang. He can't hang. Larry Nance was good off the bench. He had 9 and 13, but like OKC's just dominant, man. They get it from everybody. J-Dub gave him 21 and 9. SGA gave him 24 and 8. Giddy gave him 21 and 8. They're just so good. They've got so many guys. And I know no one's going to give them credit because what they're going to do now is they're going to be like, "Oh, well, they got the Pelicans." Well, you know why they got the Pelicans? Because they were the 1 seed. Because they were the best team throughout the entire regular season. That's why they get the 1 seed. So I don't know. I think if they take on the Clippers or LA, which we'll talk about next, I don't know. I feel like OKC should be the favorite. I don't think anybody has, like, we bought a Zubac, but I don't think Zubac is going to be someone that can destroy them. And shout out Gaffer and PJ Washington and all the bros. I just don't think they can do it. I don't think they can do it. So I like OKC to get to the Western Conference Finals and then probably get smoked by, not smoked, but I think Denver or Minnesota would get through them in a 7-game series. I think it would be fun. But let's do the Clippers. Let's do Clippers and Mavs because what a insane series so far, right? On Friday night, the Mavs take it to the Clips at home, 101-90. Luka goes for 22, 10, and 9. Kawhi is back, but he looks bad. Like, he looks slow. He looks funky. It doesn't feel right. So Clippers go up 2-1. And then yesterday, they announced right before the game, they're like, Kawhi's questionable. And then they're like, oh, he's not going through shoot around. And that's like a sign that he's probably not going to play. And then Kawhi gets ruled out. And you're like, okay, well, maybe Mavs are going to coast. Even though they lost game 1 without Kawhi, it still felt like, okay, whatever. They were at home. This is different. And the Clippers come out and they scored 39 points in the first quarter. They hold the Mavs to 16. And then the Mavs wake up a little bit. They outscore them by 6 in the second quarter. Then in the third quarter, they turn around and hold the Clippers to 16 points. They score 29, but it just was too much. And Kawhi with one of the circus shots, one of the best circus shots I think I've ever seen. I can't believe he finished that layup. Let me see if they did a short on it yesterday. I don't think they did. Yeah, they did actually. Let's do this. It was a 1-on-5, and I'm sure, I just can't believe Kyrie finished this. It was incredible. Let me just pull up the screen. Here we go. Let's see what we got here. All right, let's go. I can't believe he finishes this.
Get him that title. What a finish from Kyrie Irving.
How?
Some Irving ingenuity right there.
Oh, Irving ingenuity deep in his bag, Mike Breen. But it was just truly insane shot making from both teams there down the stretch. I mean, it was incredible. Let me see if we've got good highlights here from the third quarter. If they posted up the whole game. Let's see if we got. Yeah, let's actually watch some of this here. We'll start in the third quarter because that's when stuff got feisty. But James Harden, and I'll just kind of talk over the highlights so you can mute me or mute them, whatever you want to do. Here we go.
On his original line or his original pathway, then it should not be a foul on the defensive player. As Paul George gets it inside to Zubac.
You had Paul George finish this game with 33 points, 6 boards, 8 dimes. James Harden, we got playoff Harden. That's not a game 1. He had 33 points, 7 dimes, 6 boards. Zubac gave him 13 and 4, barely played. Norman Powell game 11 off the bench. Kyrie goes for 47 and 5. Luka 29, 10 and 10. Incredible shot making down the stretch.
Inside, Lively the slam. Get that first offensive rebound.
And real quick, I was at Kelsey's new place opened up, and they had this rooftop friends and family thing. And so this game was out of hand. So I stopped watching the game and I went up to the roof. And then this is when I checked the score. I saw that it was wait, holy shit, it's a 5-point game. And then I went back down and watched the end of it.
Blocked by Lively. It's a 3.
Let's go to the fourth here. This is when it got crazy.
Can they stop Harden? No, Harden.
Also, real quick, I don't understand why the Mavs did not get Lively or Gafford back into that game at any time. Harden is cooking them with floater after floater, and they still relied on Maxi Kleber to be the stopgap for that.
5 on the 24. Kleber's on Harden. Harden drives inside off the
again.
glass. 3 straight buckets from picks him up. Shot clock at 6. Doncic back up top to Irving. 3-pointer.
God, Kyrie was so good.
By PJ to get Luka off that island.
Irving inside the layup.
Insane. That's still every highlight, every angle of this is insane.
7 on the shot clock.
This was the biggest shot of the game, by the way, because that was right after that Kyrie layup. It felt like the Mavs were going to pull away. Paul George in the corner. Unreal shot.
Harden gets inside the floater. Count it.
And that was ball game. Ball game right there.
Washington guarding. 5 on the 24. Harden sees the shot clock. Off the drive. The floater's up.
Another floater.
3-pointer. You can give up a quick 2 even, but not a 3. But Doncic dribbles right. Now gets off. Chase down. And lays it up and in. That's good. Dallas came back.
No, this is basically it.
To
We don't need to see anymore. So Clippers get this W. They go back to LA, to Tinseltown, 2-2. Now, my question for everybody, where do you lean here the rest of this series? Do you think this was just like, I don't know, Kawhi clearly wasn't 100%. Maybe it like muddied up the offense a little bit. And now that the Clippers have figured this out, they're 2-0 when Kawhi doesn't play. They're probably not going to have Kawhi for the rest of the series. They said they're unclear on his timetable to return. Or do you think like the Clippers just got, like some, an injection of cocaine, and then they were like, okay, we're ready to go because they had no Kawhi, and that it'll fizzle. I mean, if you're the Clippers, the good news is you've beaten them. I mean, if you're the Mavericks, the good news is you've beaten the Clips already in LA. However, not without Kawhi. So I don't know. Do you guys lean? It's a 3-game series now with Clippers having home court again. Who's taking them? Who's the better player, Paul George or Luka? Regulator, come on, what are we doing? Luka. I mean, I know Paul George had a great game, but it's Luka. Stan says the Clips are the better team. So is everybody taking the Clippers? Jump shoot, I'm not going to talk about baseball. You're on drugs if you think I'm going to talk about baseball this morning. Everybody taking the Clip. I still think the Mavericks have the edge here. Drew says Kyrie had 7 turnovers, 3 in the last 8 minutes was the difference. Mavs in 7. Okay, seems like the series could go 7. It does feel like a 7 series. Paul George is more dependable? What? Man, really? I don't know. I don't know if I'd call Paul George more dependable. I mean, Luka has put up big numbers in the playoffs his entire career. Paul George famously, hit the side of the backboard. Remember that? I don't know. I think I would lean. I have no idea who's going to win this series. I think did I take Mavericks in 7 initially? I don't know. I don't know where I land on this series. I'll be honest. This could go either way. But I think I lean Mavs. I think I lean Mavs still. I know no Kawhi. They've won twice. I just still think that is they're going to figure that out. Paul George took the Clippers to the Western Conference Finals without Leonard. Hey, God, go look at Paul George's playoff history, guys. Seriously. I mean, if we're just gonna cherry pick the one thing that happened, sure. So did Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard took the Blazers to the Western Conference Finals. We're just saying crazy stuff now, guys. We're saying crazy stuff. But they blew a 3-1 lead. Just remember that. But yeah, I do think, the Clippers seem to have the better roster. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm excited for the rest of that series. Let's go over to the Eastern Conference here. I tried to tell everybody freaked out about the Miami stuff because Miami won game 2. And I said we would learn everything we needed to know about the Celtics team in game 3. Because if the Celtics went out and destroyed them, stepped on the throats, it would just be like, hey, a fluke game happened. You had a historic bad game from Porzingis, from the backcourt of the Celtics. Miami shot out of their ass. It was like they did not make any adjustments, did not play any defense. But I was like, if this ends up being a close game in game 3, then I'm like, who knows what's going to happen in this series. But if the Celtics are the team that they've been this entire regular season, then we would know. And that's exactly what happened. The Celtics just beat the piss out of them. Yeah, Steve, I mentioned that earlier. Celtics and Heat tonight. I don't know. We're not going to see Jimmy back this series. I mean, if if the Heat somehow shock the world and beat the Boston Celtics, then maybe. But Celtics in this game hold the Miami Heat to 12 points in the first quarter. They were up 9 at the end of the. I'm sorry, they're up 9 at the end of the first, and then in the second quarter they dropped 42 points on them, and then extend the lead big time. So they were up, what is that, 39? They were up 63-39 at halftime. They finished the game up 104-84. Tatum finished with 22 and 11. Jaylen Brown had 22 and 8. Porzingis a little bit better, had 18 and 5 in this game. Derek White was 16 and 5. And then Miami, they got 20 and 9 out of Bam, which was fine. Hero came back to earth, gave him only 15 points. And they played defense. That's what Boston did. They did not play defense in game 2. In game 3, they did. And so I expect game 4 to be a little bit closer, but for the Celtics to win, and then this should be over in 5 games. And then everybody who spent the first 90 minutes of every podcast last week can just calm the fuck down would be my understanding of this series. And that's no disrespect to Miami. I mean, the fact that Miami won a game, the fact that they're even in the playoffs with the roster that they have constructed, all the credit in the world to Miami. And they should get credit for winning game 2. It was an incredible performance from them. I just don't think we're going to see them doing that again. I don't. I think that was more of a fluke than anything else. Celtics will win, but you don't think they're going to cover. Oh, yeah, 10.5. I wouldn't do that either. I wouldn't do that either. I wouldn't touch any of these games, to be honest. Game 3 was the only one I felt confident in. I knew they were going to win by 15 plus. And I knew it was just going to feel over right away. I knew they were going to come out and make a statement in the first half, and they did. And if they didn't, they don't deserve to be like a title favorite. If they did not do that in game 3, they had no business being a title favorite, because that was like a championship performance where you let your guard down, you got punched in the face, and you have to come out and remind everyone, hey, not only can we knock down 23s in a game if we wanted to, we can also play lockdown defense, and that's exactly what they did. So I don't think we have to talk too much about that. Game 4 is tonight. We'll get a better feel for it. But let's do Pacers Bucks, man. What a weird ass game. What a weird ass game. So for my predictions, I feel good. The Pacers now take a 3 games to 1 series lead as they beat the Bucks yesterday, 126-113. So let's do game 3 first, actually. Let's do game 3 first. So game 3, we played back this on Friday, so shout out to everybody that tuned in. We did live before lock and rolled that right into Pacers Bucks. We had that sweet 5:30 start so the game goes to overtime. Dame again, pretty impressive performance, but what we find out after is he tweaked, was it his calf? Knee, picks up a lower leg injury, and then I guess he tells Doc Rivers in between the fourth quarter and timeout and overtime, basically being like, hey, you got to use me as a decoy. Chris Middleton shooting out of his ass. It was his Achilles. Thanks, Snoopaloo. Just fireworks, dude. He's that game-tying shot at the end of the fourth quarter where he catches the ball, basically has 2 guys on him, just kind of throws it off into the side, somehow knocks it in. Then we get to overtime. They're down 3. Middleton banks in a shot. There's 6 seconds left. And then Tyrese Halliburton puts Pat Beverly on skates, man. It was funny because I had maybe one of the worst takes of all time as the play was going down. 6 seconds left. They throw the ball into the backcourt, and Halliburton has to chase it down. And I was like, man, I don't really like this. But what it did was it allowed him, because they didn't pressure the ball, it allowed Halliburton to get this running start. And then Pat Bev, there was no shot in hell. And then Hallie gets an and one, ties the game up. Take and one, gives them a 3-point lead. Pacers get the W. And then we learned after the game, Giannis was not going to be available. But we said this, the best, we were saying this before the series started, best case scenario, Giannis plays game 5. I still don't think he's going to play game 5. I think he's probably done. Dame ends up missing game 4. I don't think he's going to play for game 5 either. And then 2 seconds into and also, Middleton had some ankle issues as well. Looked like he was questionable going into the game. Middleton plays great yesterday. Bobby Portis gets ejected 4 minutes into the game. Bobby, what is going on, bro? All right, Keith in the chat said had Wi-Fi problems, couldn't get it in time. Mavs in 6. Clippers won't shoot 60% from 3 again. There you go. Hot take, baby. Hot take. Weisberg's in the chat too. But yeah, great I don't know what Bobby Portis is doing. Like, I don't know how you get kicked out of the game that fast. They got some solid, like Brooke Lopez gave him 27-9. Middleton was great. Again, didn't shoot as efficiently, but went 7 for 8 from the free throw line. He finished with 25, 10, and 5. But after that, Beasley gave him 20, but nothing really else from anybody else on the bench. Nobody else could hit double digits. And Halliburton had a nice game again. He had 24 and 4. Miles Turner, who would have guessed? We're relying on Miles Turner now. He had 29, 9, and 4. And the Pacers now, they win 126-113, and they just ran. Like, shout out the Bucks. Bucks kept it as close as they could for as long as they could. And the Pacers just kept running it down their throats. And they go up 3-1. And listen, maybe Milwaukee finds it deep in their soul, and they get game 5, and it goes back to Indiana for a game 6. But to me, this is like a battle of attrition, and the Bucks are losing. I mean, they're missing, 2.5, their 2.5 best players aren't playing, right? Middleton's not 100%. No Giannis, no Dame. It's too much Pat Beverly. You know what I'm saying? When Pat Beverly on a fantasy slate is like a top 20 projected guy between four games, that's terrible. So I think the Pacers are going to get through. And that's going to take us to yesterday's Knicks Sixers game. And that is the best news ever for Knicks Sixers, because I'm sorry to John W. and how many other Pacers fans we have watching this. The Knicks now punch your ticket for the Eastern Conference Finals, baby, because I think whoever wins that series is going to go on to the Eastern Conference Finals, as they are playing the winner of Pacers Sixers. And I just don't think, Pacers Bucks, and I don't think either of them have a shot. The Bucks, it's not going to be the Bucks, right? So Knicks win this game 97-92. Now, if you are the Sixers, you held the Knicks to 97 points yesterday. And Jalen Brunson got his. Jalen Brunson had an incredible game, by the way. Let's give Brunson his flowers first. 47 points, 10 dimes. But outside of Jalen Brunson, right? Also, he went 18 for 34 from the field. But outside of Brunson, OG gave you 16 points from OG Anunoby. He had 14 boards too. Great game from him. McBride gave you 13 off the bench. You got 4 points out of Josh Hart, 8 out of Dante DiVincenzo, 8 out of Hartenstein, 1 out of Precious Achiuwa. No Mitchell Robinson in this game. You lose Bojan Bogdanovic early. He's probably done for the series. He looked bad. So if you're the Knicks, you're like, fine, Jalen, you want to go get yours, go get yours. But you only scored 92 points. That's on you. That is on you. Embiid had 27 and 10. With 6 dimes as well. Tobias Harris just sucks, man. He really does. 10 points, 8 boards, 4 for 10. You got 19 out of Oubre, 7 out of Lowry, 23, 6, and 6 out of Maxey. And then you got a total of 6 bench points. You got 5 from Campaign, 1 from Batum. That was the difference. You got Miles McBride went for 13 off the bench, and you got a total of 6 off the bench. And that is the difference. Lunatico saying the Sixers relying too much on Embiid. You know what? I actually disagree with that a little bit. Embiid is like one of the best players in the game right now. So I think you do rely on those guys. But they just don't have other options. They don't have other options, to your point, because it's not going to be Tobias Harris. And Maxey's been great this postseason. He really has. But their offensive execution was so bad in the fourth quarter. And they just weren't. And shout out the Knicks. OG Anunoby balled out. Incredible defense, whether it was on Maxey, whether it was on Embiid. It was great. And so now the Knicks up 3-1, coming back to MSG, and that's a wrap. That was a wrap. The Knicks were probably moving on anyways once they went up 2-0, but the Sixers aren't going to be able to win 3 games. And if you're the Sixers, you got to be kicking yourself, man. You got to be kicking yourself. Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. They get hosed in game 2 and really outplayed the Knicks in game 1. Yeah, they should. Sixers should be up, and but they're not, and that's, you got to win the games. Shout out Thibodeau. You got an incredible Josh Hart performance in game 1 and game 2. Brunson wakes up, and now the Knicks are 1 win away from getting on to the second round, and it was fun. I was watching that game out yesterday, and just the city's on fire right now for the Knicks. They are so jacked up. They were yelling some crazy stuff. They were yelling crazy stuff at Embiid. I tweeted it out, but they said, dude, somebody yelled, hit him low, let's give him balls palsy. That's an insane thing to yell. But Sixers go up 3-1. and they will await the winner of that Pacers Bucks series. All right, we got one series left, and they are saving me. This series is saving me because I took Magic in 6, and I was very nervous about that after the Cavs go up 2-0. Orlando has taken it to Cleveland, and they've tied the series up 2-2. They had in Game 3, it was Paolo who went off. In Game 4, Franz. And he came out, he played that first game, right? That first game, he looked nice, but that was after having like a week off. And since then, when they're playing like every other day or every 2 days, he just has not been the same. So in 36 minutes, he went 5 for 14 from the field, had 18 points, 7 of those coming from the line. Allen gave him 21, Mobley with 14, only 14 out of Garland. But like I said, Franz goes for 34 and 13. Paolo didn't even get to double digits, but the 34 from Franz was enough. And then it was like the other guys, man. Wendell Carter Jr. gave him 11. Suggs gave him 12. You got 14 and 7 from Jonathan Isaac off the bench. I told you they were going to make a lineup switch. And heading into Game 3, Isaac moved to the bench. Wendell Carter Jr. moved back into the starting lineup. And they've been in like a 12 from Fultz, 7 from Mo Wagner. Everybody's just chipping in a little bit. And now you go back to Cleveland. And I think that's tomorrow, right? I think that's tomorrow's game. Back to Cleveland. It's a 2-2 series. And listen, if you're at Cleveland, you're like, whatever, dude. We still have home court advantage. It's fine. But they just don't look right, man. You know what? The Cleveland Cavaliers are playing like they know their best player on their and won't be there. And that's what's happening, right? They just look bad, man. They look bad. So I don't know. Is everyone just comfortable with Cleveland outside of courtside? I know courtside's a big Orlando fan. Is everybody just like Cleveland will be fine? Like Stubbs, I know you're in the chat. How are you feeling? Courtside, he said he's going to Game 6. Nobody flexes more after every shot than the Wagner brothers. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm biased. I want Orlando to win. I'm not a big Cleveland guy. I just don't. Well, I think if Donovan Mitchell's your best player, it's not gonna work out for you. But I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about this one. But I don't know. I don't know, but it's exciting, man. All right, so let's Donovan gonna hand you an L. All right, Stan, listen, you've been screaming that for how many years now? How many years now? Once they also Game 3, they switched Jalen Suggs from Garland to Donovan Mitchell, and I think he's had 15 points and 18 points in back-to-back games. So not too worried about it, Stanley. All right, what do we have for tonight? So tonight's action, we've got the Boston Celtics and Miami Heat. So we've got Game 4 of that, and then we have Game 4 of OKC and New Orleans, and then Game 5 of Lakers and Nuggets. So that's tonight's action. And then tomorrow, I think we finally get that Orlando-Cleveland game. Jump shoot, I have no idea. Because it depends on like how these series wrap up. Let's do a pick 'em quickly, and then hey, just a reminder too, we're firing up playback tonight for Celtics and Heat. Hero, okay, God, he's so brutal. Stan's takes are about as hot as ice cream. All right, let's go over to IKB. Let's get a pick 'em in. What do we got here? All right, so you want to start? What did you want to start with? The Porzingis? What was it? What do you got here? KP, you like the KP over points 15.5? Yeah, we can't get it. What about points and rebounds? I might do that. Points and rebounds, 23.5. I might do that. Because I feel like I like that. I feel like we can get that in there. What else we got? Bam's been pretty consistent here. I do kind of like the Bam over in points. What's Hero's line? Hero got locked up in Game 2. His numbers have been crazy, right? He's gone for like 11 points, 15 points, and then that monster game that he had. 20.5. I kind of like the under on 20.5, but I don't know. Maybe that's my buy. Maybe that's my Celtics fandom chalking. Caleb Martin, does he have? Hey, shout out Nikola Jovic, by the way. Jovic has played well. He's had a good playoffs. I'm a Jovic guy. I've decided I'm a Jovic guy. What about kind of DeLon Wright? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we find something from a different game. OKC. I mean, I kind of like Jalen Williams numbers here, or Josh Giddey too. Actually, Josh Giddey over 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Giddey's been playing well in this series. I don't think Giddey can be relied on for an entire playoff run. like it's going to be game to game. But this series has been pretty solid for him. And then does Chet have 1.5 threes again? Yep, that's it. There we go. This is my line. Porzingis over 23.5 points and rebounds. Giddey over 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Chet over 1.5 threes. I like that line. I like that line. There we go. Bango, bango, bongo. All right. Let's look at my so rare lineups here for a second. Let's see if that's got anything good, and then we can start to wrap up. I'll check in on best ball tomorrow. But appreciate everybody tuning in. I hope you're enjoying the playback experience. Weisberg said he's cooking in so rare. Weisberg, are you still in Mexico or did you return home? All right, let's see what we got here. So we got a common tier 3 in the pickup. We need Chet and Russ to have some better games, but we got 60 out of Luka, 61 out of Harden. Limited tier 3 over in my contender. Oh, I didn't know that was cooking. So we got, unfortunately, the Wolves are done, though. I got 31 and 29. Beasley got to 33. Jovic 39. Kyrie with 53. That's solid. I feel like that could still run a little bit. My limited champ here, we still got some room to run with this one. So White and Nembhard still have some games left. I need a Derek White game. But we get 61 out of Embiid, 60 out of Harden, 45 out of Siakam. Siakam slowed down after those first 2 games. 25 points away in my rare champ. Beal get to 47. Pretty bad game from Najee Marshall. That's kind of, oh no, it's because it's rare champ. I should have put Wagner in my rare contender. And then rare contender, I got 33 out of Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 42 out of Nembhard. Michael Porter Jr. dropped 53. And again, I need Derek White. Come on, Derek White. Come on. Let's see. Check the limited champion leaderboard. Your boy's in 19th right now. All right. Let's go check the leaderboard. How do I always forget how to expand this. Oh, I have to look at like full leaderboard, right? There we go. All right, Weisberg, this better be fucking good, bro. Wait, what happened there? I said I want to look at. What just happened here? I'm so confused. What is going on? Hold on. I don't know why is it showing me the whole thing? Is that why? I'm sorry, guys. Whatever. Sorry, Weisberg. We're not going to look at your fucking lineup, bro. Sorry, dude. 40. You're Lunatico. You're 48th on the champion chase. Interesting. All right, dogs. We're going to call it there. We did it. Good show by everybody. Hey, listen, do we have some visitors here still? If you're a visitor, yeah, we got 3. Can you guys do me a favor? Just before you go, if you haven't created an account yet, create an account, join the room. And it makes us look good when we get some new people in here. You know what I'm saying? Makes us look good. So join the room. We'll be back tonight for some Celtics Heat action. And then tomorrow we'll be back here at 9 a.m. We'll take a look at last night's games. We're going to do some underdog stuff. We'll have some fun with it. So let's do. Oh, you know what I wanted to do beforehand? I wanted to check in on this. Here, this is the last thing we can do. I wanted to check in on some predictions here. Although I'm not sure. East. Let's see if this will do it. I sometimes can't find my tweets all the time. All right, here we go. These were my predictions here. So I'm going to share it into the chat. Hopefully that loads in correctly because I wanted to see where we're at. So for the East, I had Celtics in 4. Okay, that's not going to happen. But I'm more concerned about them advancing. So Celtics, obviously. Knicks in 7. Probably not going to go 7, but Knicks are going to advance. Pacers in 6 is looking kind of spicy. And then Magic in 6 still alive. Thunder in 5. It's probably not happening. Thunder it's probably going to be Thunder in 4. Nuggets in 5. That could happen tonight. Mavericks in 6 still on the table. But the Timberwolves in 7. You thought the Suns would be... Yeah, Sean, I thought it was going to be a close series, Sean. Also, you're on drugs. And no, hold on. But Sean, you are just a Timberwolves fan, right? Is that why? Is that why you're a Timberwolves fan? That's why you're like, dude, Minnesota's going to go 4-0. No one's going to beat Minnesota ever. I mean, nobody was predicting a Timberwolves sweep. That is smart. No, of course they're the better team. I picked them to win. I like that you're mad at me that I didn't pick your team. This is classic Minnesota energy. This feels like a Borland burner account here, where like you're mad that I didn't tell, like, that you didn't win in enough games. Come on. Come on. That was a mini accent. Oh, like a Minnie Mouse accent? No, that wasn't a Minnesota accent. No, I wouldn't do. Oh, there's a Bobby, don't you know there, Bobby? It wasn't a dominating enough. No, that see switches into Irish. Oh, don't you know that we have Anthony Edwards, man? now it's like Jamaican, Scottish. There we go. We can't do it. It's too early. It's too early. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Can't get them all, guys. Can't get them all. All right, gang. We're going to call it there. We're going to end it on, Ernest Myers showing up in YouTube. Ernest, you should have come over to playback, bro. We're going to end it over on YouTube, and then we'll delete that and add it. Appreciate everybody tuning in this morning. We'll see you tonight. We're out of here. Bye-bye.